Oh, the plot thickens. By now, everyone's heard about the Sig Sauer P320 controversy, whether the gun goes off on its own or not. You've seen the lawsuits, the accidental discharge videos, and talking heads, but then this story dropped. An airman allegedly shot and killed on base when his Sig Sauer M18 went off by itself. That headline, it went nuclear. Because if it were true, that meant the controversy wasn't just theory anymore. It had a body attached to it. This story hits like gasoline on an open flame. Gun control advocates ran with it. Anti-gun media plastered it everywhere. Even some in the gun community threw up their hands like, well, that's it. Sig is done. And I'll be honest, when I first read it, I thought, damn, this is not good. Because I'm human. I'm not immune to headlines, even though I've seen how this movie ends 100 times. But something about it just didn't sit right. It felt too convenient, like the story was trying to be perfect for the narrative. See, when I covered this story the first time, I said what I always say: slow down. Don't let a viral headline become your entire worldview before the facts come in. And now we know it was wrong. It didn't go off by itself. He lied. The shooter, Airman Marcus Whiteallen, pointed his M18 at another airman in a joking manner. The AP News reports details about his death were released for the first time Friday, including that the alleged shooter, Marcus Whiteallen, had pointed the gun at Lavon's chest in a joking manner. Whiteallen, after the shooting, allegedly urged the two other surviving airmen to lie about what happened, according to the statement. He pulled the trigger, killed his friend, then panicked and told others to lie for him. The Associated Press goes on to say that Whiteallen allegedly told the other two airmen, here's the story. Tell them that I slammed my duty belt on the desk and it went off. Whiteallen allegedly told Rodriguez to tell emergency responders that Whiteallen's holster went off, according to the statement. And they did. They lied. That lie triggered the Air Force to suspend the M18 across nuclear weapon sites for a month. The gun paused by the Air Force Global Strike Command after the death of Braden Lavon, 21 years old, in late July was lifted in late August after Air Force officials determined the M18 was safe to carry. All because one man couldn't take responsibility for his mistake. And here's the part that makes this even more twisted. The same guy who fired the shot later self-deleted himself. He took himself off the earth. Now, that's a whole nother story, because now I'm like, what the hell is going on? Now, I'm pretty sure he didn't mean to kill his friend, but I'm sure the shame and the guilt and the grief, it ate him alive. So he likely decided his solution was to check out permanently. And that's tragic too. So no, this wasn't the smoking gun moment everyone thought it was. It wasn't a malfunction. It wasn't a defective SIG. It was a man who broke the rules, told a lie, and let the world run with it. And that's how fast misinformation spreads, faster than a bullet, and just as deadly in many ways. You know what kills me about this story? The lie didn't just affect one person, it rippled through the entire system. Because for a month, Air Force grounded the M18, a weapon trusted to guard nuclear facilities based on a false narrative. Think about that for a second. Entire missions, entire chains of command, frozen. Not because the gun failed, but because the truth did. And what does that do? It feeds lawsuits, it fuels activists, it gives the media another excuse to write, see, guns are the problem. When in reality, this was textbook human negligence. Further reports say other U.S. service branches continue to use the M18 while Global Strike Command suspended its use. The suspension occurred while lawsuits against Sig Sauer allege its P320 pistol can go off without the trigger being pulled. The New Hampshire-based gun maker denies the claim, saying the pistol is safe and the problem is user error. And in this particular case, that's what this was, user error and human panic wrapped in a convenient lie. But the second the story broke, you had headlines calling for mass recalls, lawsuits, investigations, all before the first forensic report even dropped. That's how it always goes. If something bad happens and a gun is involved, the story doesn't even need confirmation. It just needs clicks. No one pauses to ask questions. They just throw the firearm under the bus and move on to the next outrage cycle. Because blaming a gun is easy. Blaming a person, that's complicated. When it's human error, it means someone could have done better. But when it's the gun's fault, it means no one's to blame. It's clean, it's convenient, and basically bullshit. This is the pattern we see over and over. Someone breaks a rule, makes a mistake, and instead of owning it, they say, it just went off. It's the oldest line in the book. I've seen it 1,000 times because admitting negligence means admitting you failed one of the 4 sacred rules of firearm safety. And every time that excuse gets airtime, it becomes ammunition, not just for lawsuits, But for people who want to paint gun owners as careless, unstable, or dangerous, that's the real danger, not the trigger pull, the narrative pull. Because once the lie takes off, it doesn't just destroy reputations, it fuels policy. It turns emotion into legislation, and legislation built on lies is the quickest way to lose rights that took centuries to earn. So yeah, this story isn't just about a lie. It's about how easy it is to weaponize misinformation when it fits a pre-built narrative. Now, I'm not saying that this absolves Sig Sauer of all the potential claims about the P320. What I'm saying is that this particular case, the Sig M18, didn't go off on its own. The man broke the rules, lied about it, and 2 others backed him. And because of that lie, an entire industry took another undeserved hit. What I am saying is this. This is exactly why I'm cautious with my platform, because the internet loves to run full speed off the cliff with the first headline it sees typically. That's why I do what I do. I'm not trying to defend Sig, I'm trying to defend the truth here, because in a world where outrage is currency, truth is the only thing worth saving. So the next time you see a headline that says gun fires on its own, ask yourself, who benefits from the story? Because 9 times out of 10, the answer isn't you. You see, the Second Amendment doesn't defend itself. We do. And that's exactly what my Defend America collection, as you can see here on my hat, represents. The Second Amendment was never just about hunting or hobby. It was written so the people could defend themselves, their families, and ultimately this country. Because if we ever lose the right to bear arms, we don't just lose our guns. We lose the balance of power that keeps America free. We become subjects instead of citizens. That's why I created the Defend America line. Hats, shirts, hoodies, drinkware, all built around the idea that the Second Amendment is the foundation of freedom. When you wear it, you're not just wearing merch, you're wearing a message. You're reminding everyone that defending your right is defending America. So if you believe in that mission, if you believe that we the people are the 4th branch of government, click the link in the description section of this video and head over to shop.mrcolionnoir.com and grab something from the Defend America collection, because the fight for freedom doesn't start in Washington. It starts with us. One voice, one community, one message. Defend America. One thing's for certain and 2 things are for sure. Politicians and tech giants don't want gun content to be recommended to you. And we're all fighting this culture war together. Now you can help do your part by liking, commenting, subscribing to the channel, but most importantly, sharing this video with at least one person. Together we can stop the suppression of our 2A rights. And don't forget to click the link in the description section of this video for the products that I mentioned in this video.